Hi, everyone. Hope you've had a good Sunday, or should I say a serene Sunday. Soul Healing Angel here, of the Soul Healing Angel channel. My name is Mary Beth. I've had a very serene Sunday, a busy morning, long morning too. It's the last Sunday in March. Do a little Palo Santo, one for me, one for you. Okay, get some incense going as well. And I had a late night, met with some of my high school classmates. We have a small group that meets. We've lost several of our classmates and try to get together like once every month, every couple months. And we had a nice group that got together at a local restaurant, and it was really nice. So I actually didn't get to meditate this morning because I had to practice my music. I didn't have a chance to go over real well. So I did some meditation, late afternoon, and during my meditation, what came up during my meditation today was a visual of, when I closed my eyes, this vision, almost like of an eye, someone's eye, an eye, and or an eye, almost like either of a lion or of a tree, like an elemental. But there was a blue. This has come up before too, like a blue portal or a blue door or a blue light that has come through. So that appeared, and the word or the phrase that came to me was "be strong." And so the visual of a lion also came to me, or the thought of a lion, and that I needed to be strong, gather up strength. So that came to me. And I have here the "be strong" lion, and the blue light. Then I also had, as I went like into my third eye, there was a visual of like almost like a dungeon, like going into maybe a medieval type dungeon or a cellar or something. It wasn't real clear. I was trying to get a clear vision, and it just wasn't as clear as I would have liked it would have been. But it was still taking me into some kind of a visual of a dungeon. Then my friend's son's name came to me. His name is Robbie, and he wanted to let me know that he's okay. So I need to let his mother know that he's fine, he's okay. He's passed. It's probably been, my youngest is 19. He came to the NICU to see her when she was in the NICU. So it's probably been 17, 18 years since he has passed. It was an automobile accident. A wonderful young man. And then, the phrase, "create in me a clean heart, O God." And that's been a phrase that was our anthem in church today, and that has been going through my mind, I guess, as I'm going through Lent. And it's just been a phrase because we're thinking about Lent. We're in spring, and we're in the period of renewal and beginning again, and cleansing. So that came to me also. And at the end of my session, my hands felt very heavy, like holding a lot of energy. They just seemed to be very full of energy. I brought them together. I couldn't see anything, but I could feel that they were full of a lot of energy. So that was just what happened in my meditation early this evening. Usually I meditate in the morning. It was a different time of day for me to be meditating. Now this morning I did get a chance, though, to send out my little daily devotional calendar to several friends, and what came up today was Psalm 37, and the phrase is, or should I say, a little paragraph was, "Be still before the Lord and wait patiently for him. Do not fret over those who prosper in their way, over those who carry out evil devices. Refrain from anger and forsake wrath. Do not fret, it leads only to evil. For the wicked shall be cut off, but those who wait for the Lord shall inherit the land." That's Psalm 37, verses 7 through 9. It's NRSV. That was for today. And that was real profound about, be still before the Lord. And I brought that one phrase up before, be still and know I am God. I think that's important. And I think, we meditate that's important. Just take a few moments throughout the day to be still, whatever you may be doing. You may laugh at this, but even, those mothers of you that, those of you who have little children, even if you're on the toilet, give a few minutes and that's time to be still and just know that God is there at all times. Be still and know I'm God. Be still before the Lord. Find something. Okay, I'm going to share with you a short lesson from the Course in Miracles. Lesson 227. This is my holy instant of release. Father, it is today that I am free because my will is yours. I thought to make another will, yet nothing that I thought apart from you exists. And I am free because I was mistaken and did not affect my own reality at all by my illusions. Now I give them up and lay them down before the feet of truth, to be removed forever from my mind. This is my holy instant of release. Father, I know my will is one with yours. And so today we find our glad return to heaven, which we never really left. The Son of God this day lays down his dreams. The Son of God this day comes home again, released from sin and clad in holiness, with his right mind restored to him at last. That's lesson 227. This is my holy instant of release. It's interesting because the gospel reading today was the prodigal son, and the pastor in her sermon gave an interesting perspective. I never thought about this, but she's talked about. You might want to look up the reading of the prodigal son. You had the son that said, "Okay, Father, give me all my inheritance," and he went out and he just spent it all and everything on wine, women, and song. And he comes back, and there was a brother that stayed. And when the prodigal son comes back, the father says, "Well, let's have the fatted calf. Let's have a feast, give him a robe and everything." And the son that had stayed and helped out was like, "Well, you never gave me any party for doing what I did." But the father said, "Well, all I have is already yours. But my son was gone and now he's back." But like she said, she's talked about how Well, where was the mother in this story? Was she just too timid to say anything, or um, had she passed, or you know, where was she in the story? Could she have maybe helped these three men in some way? I forgot to light my candle. Um, was there, why wasn't there a mother or a woman that could have helped these three come together or somehow? Uh, but I never thought about that. We always think about, hear about the father and the prodigal son and the other son who's disgruntled because he felt that he always did what the father wanted, and never thought about that. She said, think about those characters and think about, their relationship to God, and I mean, it just was some food for thought for a story that I've grown up with this story all my life. It's read every year in the Catholic Church. I'm a recovering Catholic, and but this, of course, was in the Lutheran Church. So, just an interesting perspective. So that was the reading at church. All right, just wanted to share that with you. But it was a story, actually. The bottom line was it was a story about forgiveness, ultimately, because the father said, he forgave his son. And I guess the brother, I don't know if it's older brother or not. We weren't sure how old, the pastor brought up the fact, we don't know how old the prodigal son was. He could have been 15. Was he 20, 21? How old was he? And to say how, that's kind of to have audacity to say, hey, give me my inheritance, But, and would a parent do that? This parent did. But the father forgave him for spending it all. Said, you're welcome to come here. Here's our, I had that card yesterday. It was Pashar the Vision. It's a beautiful, beautiful angel. Something different, maybe. Vision is beautiful. You have to, I guess, think about Jesus' parables, and there's many different angles to come from there. Oh, here's Kayla Ray, peace. So we're talking about forgiveness and peace. Beautiful. That's number 42. Nope, it's not there. Wait a minute. I got to 43, but where's 42? In another place. Or it's not supposed to be. Okay. Got some police cars out there. Pray for somebody. No. Please bear with me here as I find. I'm going to have to sit down at some point and put these in the order they belong in. Oh, here it is. That would help if I did that, wouldn't it? Yes, it would. Kayla Ray. Kayla Ray. Kayla Ray. Kayla Ray. Kayla Ray. All right. All right. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. That's from St. Francis of Assisi. Kayla Ray is the angel of peace. From her bosom springs the gifts of patience and self-love, which are the essence of peace. Which is what? Patience and self-love. Patience and self-love. When you deeply love yourself, you cannot feel distressed or impatient. It is only in those moments when self-acceptance and love slip away that irritation and turmoil find a place within. Kayla Ray has come to help you resolve the paradoxes of this world, to admit peace to your troubled soul. This world is founded upon duality, and until you are able to reconcile this duality, you will only catch a fleeting glimpse of peace. The greatest paradox is that peace is the natural state of the heavens, but not the material world. Many of the behaviors that disturb peace are learned and can be healed with love. For example, self-talk is what your mind says as you drive. Do repetitive tasks, wait in line, observe other people, watch television, interact with your family and friends, etc. Okay? For a few days, carry around a notebook and write down what your mind says. That old monkey mind, huh? You will find that it repeats word for word like a tape-recorded message, which is exactly what it is. These messages are broadcast through your emotions and magnetically attract similar energy in the form of experiences. Self-talk is a window of opportunity for editing your script. Go beyond a mental exercise and search for the old feelings that recorded these messages. Ask Kayla Ray and God to help you replace them with feelings and words of love. Making peace with yourself opens the door for Kayla Ray to enter your life. Irritated, resentful, or judgment feelings close the door. The angels cannot come until you are quiet enough to hear their voices. It is your task to remove the ugliness and discord from your life so that waves of peace will spread through the waters of your world to touch the hearts of all you love. Okay, let me see here. Two common misconceptions are that peace is a calm, placid state with little feeling and that intense feelings are not spiritual. These misconceptions have nearly succeeded in killing us. Most of us are walking around half dead in a fog of boredom with little feeling left. Intense emotions are a natural part of life, and the emotional body must vibrate to live. Strong emotions, both good and bad, create the vibration which allows us to connect with the source of energy, love, and salvation. Fervent anger can be a powerful motivator for social change. Jealousy is a secret message exposing unworthiness. Hurt feelings are the unacceptable parts of us calling for love and illumination. Choose new behaviors that help you consciously align with peace rather than fall victim to unconscious habits. When you feel irritated or impatient, pretend that you are an observer. Feel other people's position and ask her or his guardian angel for help. Look for humor and ask Kayla Ray to show you other options rather than being stuck in your position. If you are waiting, retrain yourself to use this time to pray. Expand your field of awareness by stretching to connect with the eternal selves of others and angels in the area. When you are open, it only takes a moment to receive the vision of a new project or clarity on an existing one. Once you feel the divine love enfolding you and hear its wisdom whispered into your ear, only to be lost once again in the veils of illusion, your heart will break as it yearns for this peace. When you feel abandoned and utterly lost in darkness, you are the closest to God. In those moments, you are actually seeing through the veils to the truth of your longing. Your desire for peace, love, or healing is God within, urging you on. Call to Kayla Ray and your eternal self, for they are always with you and ready to help if you will only trust. Then peace can change your mood from despair to a deep inner knowing that you are truly one with God. The angels will come bearing gifts, and once again you will feel cradled in their arms of love. They must respond when you call. Music that's suggested is Natalie Cole, The Very Thought of You from Unforgettable. Brother Charles, The Ecstasy of Peace Name Divine Series, Om Mani Padme Hum, and Richard Schulman, Light from Assisi. Okay. Kayla Ray, peace. Okay, beautiful. Let me find something. Just wanted to see something from Marianne Williamson writes. I just wanted to share with you from her The Law of Divine Compensation. She says, it is not a random universe. Everyone is wherever he or she is through divine assignment. This assignment does not necessarily mean that the situation should remain as it is. Sometimes love's lesson is learning to say no. But one way or another, there is meaning to everything that occurs. Lessons come in many different forms, and for everyone in a situation, the lesson is different. For one person, the lesson might be to contribute more. For another, the lesson might be to be kinder. For one, it might be to listen more. For another, it might be to speak up. For another, it might even be to leave. No matter what the circumstance, however, working together is an opportunity for growth for everyone involved. And all growth is a conduit of miracles. She's writing about positivity. She writes that the Course of Miracles tells us that the children of God, all the children of God are special, and none of the children of God are special. That's interesting. We're all imbued with the same potential brilliance because we're all imbued with the Spirit of God. Okay. Thinking that your talent or your abilities make you special will produce fear because such thinking posits a separation between you and others. Separation between you and others means separation between you and God. And separation from God produces not power, but rather a hidden hysteria. I'm better than everyone else is not actually a success-oriented thought form. I'm personally no big deal, but I'm here, so I guess I'm the one who's supposed to be channeling the genius of God in this particular situation is better. Oh, okay, so we want to say, I'm personally no big deal, but I'm here, so I guess I'm the one who's supposed to be channeling the genius of God in this particular situation is better. It's humble, not arrogant, to realize that the genius of God lies within you. Just remember that the genius itself is not in you any more than anyone else. Our job isn't to create our genius, but it's to make ourselves available to God's. So there are four rules for miraculous work creation. Okay, be positive, send love, have fun, and kick ass. Amen. That's interesting. That's on her page 115 of her book, The Law of Divine Compensation. I like that. All right. I like that a lot. Okay, let's look at our Chakra Wisdom Tarot. Let's see what might come up today. Save this. My internet's acting funny today. Somebody's effing with it. I wish you'd quit and stay out of my computer. You know who you are. Mind your own business. Stay out of mine. We all have a purpose. We need to each do our own thing. I truly believe, don't try to be somebody else, and don't try to mess with somebody else's thing. Do your own thing. Find your own purpose. Quit being a jerk. Deep down it's not right. I think it's funny. Just playing the dark side. Karma is no fun. All I can say, divine justice. Alright, let's see here. What have we got? Oh, the Knight of Wands. Alright, this is the second night that's come up. Yesterday was the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Wands. The card of daring change. The knight charges in with the crystal of magical manifesting and can move mountains with his power. If you set a clear intention, this may be its fruition. If not, the change will still be for the better, albeit more unexpected. The chakra message: the clearer your intention, the more rapid the result. Change is in the air with a new love, job, or home. I'm hoping for all three. Indication: what you deem as out of the blue may have been an intention of yours for quite some time. Keywords: being daring, speediness, impulsiveness, extrovert, entrepreneur. Meditation: drop your shoulders and imagine yourself with a wand held high in the air. You are about to charge into your own life and give yourself some surprising news. All right, breathe and write down what this wonderful news is. Contemplation: the good news is there is always good news. I like that. All right. Matthew McConaughey would say, all right, all right, all right. Right? There's always good news. Yes, sirree. All right, Kyle Gray, let's see what your angels and ancestors have for us today. Today was another beautiful day. Part of the day. It did rain, I have to say. The morning was beautiful, and then the late afternoon was beautiful. Then part of the day rained, which was a perfect day for napping. So that was the beautiful part of the day. I was happy to rest. My animals were happy to rest with me. My little dog loves to nap. He's old. He's so happy to sleep. Me too. Me too. Me 3. Me 4, I don't know. My kitties like to sleep too. They're kittens. They run around and then they wear themselves out. And then they have to kind of just zonk out wherever they are. The littlest one, she's only about 4 months old. She just kind of like just keels over. I'm done. She's funny. She loves to play though. All right, let's see what we've got here. What do we have? Lord, take charge with authority. All right. Take charge with authority. Yes, for sure. Boy, doesn't he look authoritative? Okay. Lady up. There we go. Lord. Okay, Lord. Nice looking too. Lord, take charge with authority. Message. Don't be afraid to take charge or use your voice. Be strong. About this. The Lord is the consort of the lady. He is the emperor in the traditional tarot. He represents an authoritative male who isn't afraid to lay down the law. But this doesn't mean he is angry or chauvinistic. He is self-possessed, reliable, and ambitious, a man of honor who has earned his place in society. The Lord in this oracle holds a staff and wears a crown of antlers, showing he keeps himself firmly rooted in the ground and is protective of his people. His regal air indicates he has a taste for the finer things in life, yet he is sensitive to those who are less fortunate than he is. Extended message. Sometimes you have to take control in order to be honored. If you feel that your kindness or gifts are being taken for granted, it's time to change that. There is no excuse for bad behavior, and the ancestors are encouraging you to hold your ground and speak your mind in a fiercely loving way. It's a radical love. You have the energy and might to overcome dramas or energies that aren't working for your growth, and it's time to take charge before you find yourself in a situation you don't want to be in. You are being encouraged to be the boss instead of being bossed. This card also brings the energy of ambition and can show that you have the potential to move upwards on a professional level, but only if you act with authority and show who you really are. Be your true self. Be authentic. Show integrity. Take charge with authority. I got to chill on that one. And the Dreamweavers. Here we go. Let's see what we got. Be yourself. Be not afraid. Be true to yourself. I've always believed in that. Be the best. How can you be anybody else but the best version of yourself? Why would you want to be anybody else, for goodness sake? Why? Why be a copycat? My God, God created you for, everybody has their own purpose. Be yourself. 27, when the grit becomes a pearl. When the grit becomes a pearl. Essential meaning, reinvention, learning from past mistakes, surrendering to the lesson with grace, maturity. Something transformative is happening within you. All that friction, irritation, and resentment, the growing pains, identifying with your wounds, and then releasing them. You've been through rough seas for sure. Now you hold the precious pearl of wisdom in your hands and heart and psyche. You are forever changed. After all, you cannot change the pearl back to the grit, nor would you want to. Yes, you might get triggered here and there by the ghosts of the past, but nothing compared to the arduous journey of learning you have been on. I can relate to that. You will notice how quickly you can turn things around, how quiet you can become in the middle of a storm, how adept you've become at knowing when to speak up or to step away, how mature you are now. Like the difference between reacting and responding. This is a time to look at how far you've come and to be mindful of opportunities, relationships, and interactions that remind you of the ones you've been through already. You do not have to learn the same things repeatedly. You have the choice now to move forward or walk away. Some things cannot be changed no matter how much you want them to. Certainly, you know you can change only yourself, even if you want to influence another person to see things your way. That didn't work before, and it won't work now. Take things at face value and trust your intuition to avoid unnecessary grit. Treasure is waiting for you on the other side of the situation. Whatever choice you make now, if you move forward and discover it's not for you, you can always change your mind. The point is, your next move is about having an experience. Because you've already accumulated so many pearls of wisdom, you can trust yourself to make the right one. Breathe. You got this. So, number 27. When the grit becomes a pearl. So remember, in the end, 3 things that last: faith, hope, and love. I wish for you love. The greatest of these is love, and I wish for you love and the peace that passes all understanding. You are so loved. Namaste.